Yeah, they can win it. Absolutely. But they have to be at home. And it's just always been the way. They have to be at home. Their home road splits in the playoffs, historically under Sean Payton and Drew Brees, are dramatic. Really, really dramatic. They are 7-1, I believe. 7-1 or 6-1 at home in the playoffs. They're 6-1 at home in the playoffs. They're 1-5 on the road. Almost a mirror image. 6-1 at home, 1-5 on the road. The only road playoff game they've ever won was in Philadelphia in 2014. That was after the 2013 season. You got to go back that long, 6 years ago, and only once with these two guys at the helm over the last 15 years in New Orleans. Once in 15 years, Peyton and Breeze won a road playoff game. They need to be at home. And their only home loss in that time was last year when they got robbed. So think about how dramatic that swing is. At home, over 15 years, the only time they've lost in the Superdome in the playoffs was last year when they were robbed. Only once, though, they've gone on the road and won in January. They're a little bit better set up this year than ever, I would say, to be able to do it. Okay? They almost went on the road and beat the Vikings a couple of years ago before Stephon Diggs catches the pass from Case Keenum, but that game's also in a dome. And note all of the teams I mentioned, they're at the top of the NFC this year. You'd go on the road outdoors to San Francisco. You'd go on the road outdoors in Green Bay. You'd go on the road outdoors in Seattle. The Saints need to be at home. And so that's why it is so imperative right now for the Saints to stack these wins late in the season and make sure they've got at least a bye and the home playoff game. We know by winning the NFC South, they'll have a home playoff game. But if they end up as a wild card, that's 2 road games, divisional round and NFC Championship. They need the bye. And the 1 seed would be even more ideal. But they got to get the bye. And that's why this race between them, the Niners, and the Seahawks specifically, but also you've got the Packers, the Vikings in the rear view climbing up behind you. You got to get all of these wins. I think the Saints could get to a Super Bowl, but I think they got to play home games to do it.